All right, good morning. Well, the Russia Ukraine conflict sends markets into chaos, and we will take a look at what exactly is happening. We'll talk about what stocks are soaring, which ones are plummeting. We'll talk about how do cryptocurrencies react to these sanctions, what is crude oil doing, and much, much more. So today is Tuesday, March 1st. It's good to be back. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Marcus Hartcutter, and this is my head coach, Mark Hodge. Together we have more than 47 years of trading experience. And every morning we sift through a mountain of news websites, newsletters, and reports. And then we take the most important news and go live right here to share with you what do you need to know as you head into your trading day. If this is your first time here, I know it can be overwhelming, but don't worry. We have a special video just for you that I will link to in the description. And that's a great place to get started. So, Mark, let's take a look at what's happening. February is over. We are in March. And look at these markets. I have the S&P up here.
Wild markets. And Mark, it's nice to have you back. Missed you. Yesterday we wrapped up the month of February, and although the day was pretty mixed, the month was the bigger story. So the major indices all fell more than 3% for the month. The S&P had its second straight month of losses, the longest losing streak since October 2020.
Yeah, that's been quite a while. But as you said yesterday, mixed bag. So the S&P down just like 0.25%. The Dow down 0.5%. The Nasdaq actually yesterday turned positive. If we're switching to a 5-minute chart of yesterday, we just see how nervous the markets are right now. So opening lower, pushing into positive territory, going all the way negative again. And these are pretty large swings here. Let me just measure these. So intraday, the Nasdaq swinging 2%. That's quite a swing here.
Absolutely. And you typically see this type of movement in smaller ranges, but like you said, you had these bigger swings. And at least on a positive, we came off of session lows in the afternoon and actually made a pretty nice rally, even though the S&P and Dow finished lower.
Yeah. So, markets are nervous. Focus is still on Russia and Ukraine, on the conflict at the border. It seems that fighting is intensifying there. Yesterday, there were scheduled talks, but basically no resolutions yet. And the chaos continues. And stocks are all over the place.
Oh, they are, and all eyes are on the situation, and it's really interesting to see this global effort, play out. Russia did say it will continue its operation in Ukraine until its goals are met. So it doesn't seem like they're backing down in spite of the sanctions and huge issues with their market and currency. In fact, yesterday there was a lot of volatility with the Central Bank of Russia doubling its key interest rate to 20% from 9.5% in reaction to a currency move that saw the ruble tumble 22% against the dollar yesterday. It hit a record low against the dollar on Monday.
Yeah. And Russia, they just closed their exchanges, probably
Yeah.
until further notice. So the exchanges were closed yesterday. They're closed today. There's this VanEck Russia ETFs that
hmm
basically tracks Russian companies. And here we see that it just recently has been plummeting. If we are looking here at this, it's down 60%, 60%
Yeah.
the move here. So, this gives us an indication of what would happen if Russia would open the exchanges. It would be pretty bad here, probably. Now, also, the New
Absolutely.
York Stock Exchange, they halted trading on some Russian companies.
Yeah, and it's just getting uglier there for the Russian stocks. And the RSX ETF that you brought up, $24 down to $9 and 65 cents in just a couple of days. So
Yeah,
that's a big slide.
losing another 11% here in pre-market trading. Crude oil soaring. So crude oil soaring now trading above $100 a barrel at 7-year highs.
And this is where I think that there's a lot of anticipation of disruptions there, but also where there could be more sanctions going into play, because that's something that hasn't really been touched. But that sounds like it's the next step. We saw the spike above $100 a barrel on the day that Russia invaded Ukraine, and then it pulled back and kind of settled down. But now back above 100 for sure.
Yeah, and you would think that this would keep oil stocks soaring, right? But it doesn't, especially if you're looking, for example, at BP. And here's why. I mean, BP yesterday dropping significantly, then finished down almost 5% in pre-market trading, down another 1.1%. It's just because they have, or they're getting a lot of oil from Russia. And so this is, of course, a problem since they're pulling out right now. So it's BP and I
BP
believe Shell,
market,
right?
there was a little difference there. They cut ties with the Russian state-sponsored company,
Yeah.
and they had a 20% stake. So I believe it was BP that did that, and so that's part of that drop.
Yeah, but then on the other hand, we have companies like Oxy, and they have been soaring yesterday. I mean, Occidental Petroleum, yesterday they were up almost 13% in pre-market trading, up 2%. So, I mean, right now it's really important to look into the companies and see, okay, which ones have ties to Russia and which ones do not, right? Because this is where we see here a tale of two stories, right? Oxy rallying 13% yesterday, and BP and Shell losing almost 5%.
Good point.
Yeah. All right. Well, what else is going on? I mean, no surprise. Stocks that are right now soaring and benefiting from this are defense stocks. Here we look at Lockheed Martin, and if we just look at the last 4 day or 3 trading days here, I mean, they're up a total of what, 13% over the last few days. Yesterday, up almost 6%.
Yeah, and there was a big dividend by LMT, but honestly, you would think that this would have already been factored in, right? But not the case at all. Traders kind of slow to the party on this one because usually you see the big run up in anticipation of an event, and
Right.
then you have a sell the news situation. Not the case here.
Yeah. All right. NOC, Northrop Grumman. Okay,
Yeah,
another winner here, defense stock. Yesterday
big
up
move.
8%. How do you pronounce this?
Northrop Grumman.
Okay, maybe. Okay. Now let's take a look at bank stocks. So banks, more news there. So Russia being removed from SWIFT. And what does this mean? And why do we have bank stocks reacting the way they do? Because, I mean, bank stocks this year should be doing fine because of higher interest rates, and higher interest rates usually are good for bank stocks. But yesterday, JPMorgan, for example, down 4%.
And this is where, as we've mentioned, some Russian banks are being removed from SWIFT, excluding energy transactions, and also freezing some of the Russian central bank's access to its foreign currency reserves. And here, if you're limiting transactions, you're limiting part of the business exposure. I see this being expected with that move. It's just how much further we'll go is the question. I put on a trade in Bank of America. You did too yesterday.
Yeah. So we traded Bank of America. We sold the 41 put, right?
41. Yep.
So
So that gives us a
basically
little.
collecting premium for this. Yeah.
Yeah, and so taking advantage of the uncertainty of the premium, selling puts at 41, collecting that and saying, "Hey, we're willing to buy at 41 on Friday if it falls." This is where I think that the drop is going to be limited to an extent, but uh, pulling back a little bit on that news is to be expected.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin had a great day yesterday, following through today, up another 3%, and now trading at 44,000 again. And a few days ago, it was trading at 34,000. I mean, so that's a healthy 10%, what, almost 30% jump that we saw here.
Yeah, I joked yesterday with you, Marcus. I said I'm surprised that Bitcoin isn't rallying now that Russia has to be a Bitcoin fan, considering all the banking transaction issues. And I didn't expect the big move yesterday, but it came
Yeah,
back at the
Bitcoin,
upper ranges.
Ethereum. I mean, everything is up here right now. Seems to be benefiting from this.
So we'll see where that ends up.
Yeah, but I mean, this is where we get to see it's chaotic, right? I mean, some stocks are
Yeah.
soaring, some are just falling down, and right now it's hard to say. Okay, which sector is really improving here. It seems to be almost a flavor of the day, because if I also look at Tesla, so Tesla over the past few weeks just going sideways or going down. Yesterday having a big day, basically just based on crude oil, where it seems, okay, if crude oil is above $100 a barrel, we will feel it at a pump. So maybe the demand for electric vehicles will get even more than it is right now. And this is where we saw 7.5% up. But it's really, it's hit and miss. Right now, super difficult to play this. I mean, you have to take it day by day, basically.
Yeah, another one moving with this news and uncertainty is CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike, and this also up a little bit pre-market, just under $200. So the cybersecurity firm or company outperforming with some concerns about cyber attacks.
Yeah. All right. We do have a very busy economic calendar, but it's kind of somewhat in the background. Excuse me.
Let's
So
do.
anyhow, today we have ISM manufacturing, PMI, another inflation gauge, not the most important one for the Fed, but definitely a red flag report that usually would move the markets. We have Powell testifying tomorrow and on Thursday, and usually this is something where the markets would actually say, all right, what's he going to say? And then the big one, we have the unemployment report, the jobs report coming out on Friday. So super busy week, but right now the focus is not on these reports. The focus is definitely on the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Agreed. Still things to watch. They're wild cards, but the focus has shifted for sure.
Yeah. All right. You want to do a rapid fire for earnings? Because we are still in earnings season. The companies are
Yep.
still reporting earnings. So there were quite a few that reported yesterday after the bell and today before the bell. So let's just do some rapid fire here.
Yeah, so in general, retail now reporting, and the numbers are looking pretty good. Target is one I want to bring up. Target up 14% pre-market. They said that it expects growth to continue even after its pandemic era gains. They reported better earnings and better revenue.
Huge jump here for Target. Huge. I
Yeah,
mean, 14% for Target is quite a lot. All right.
agreed.
Coles.
Another one up over 2%. Kohl's,
Yeah,
KSS.
I just brought
So
it up.
they were up almost 5% pre-market, pulling back a little bit. They did give upbeat guidance for 2022, beating expectations, but they did miss revenue or sales estimates.
Yeah. All right. AutoZone, AZO. So up 5%
Easy.
this morning in pre-market trading.
Yep, they had better than expected earnings. They did report, or they reported a better revenue as well.
All right. Kroger, the supermarket chain, symbol KR, up this morning 2.6% in pre-market trading.
Yeah, they also had a analyst upgrade. The analyst said, "We believe we have higher visibility and confidence in Kroger's multi-year channel growth channel runway."
All right. Yesterday, after the bell, Workday was reporting earnings up this morning 8.19%.
Yeah, nice move for them. They beat earnings and had better than expected revenue. So nice move, up almost 8%.
Zoom. Jeez, I can't catch a break. They're down another 2% this morning.
I know. Everybody knows Zoom now. It's a household name, but they are lower after issuing full year guidance that was below what analysts expected. They did report earnings that were better. Revenue was slightly lower, but it's the full year guidance that's definitely pulling this one down.
All right, last one. Let's take a look at Lucid. So EV car maker, and I mean Tesla jumping yesterday. They were actually following Tesla yesterday, up almost 10%, but this morning down almost 15% in pre-market trading.
Yeah, getting hammered. They reported a wider loss than expected. They were expecting 25 cents. The loss came in at 64 cents, and revenue was also below expectations.
All right, let's take a look at the futures markets and see what we expect here going into the trading session. brought up the Nasdaq here, and we see just markets are super nervous. Yesterday, at first, moving higher during the European session, pushing to highs in overnight session, but then pulling all the way back right now, slightly lower, half a percentage point, and it just investors and market participants looking, okay, what's happening here with Russia and Ukraine? And it's basically every hour we get new news, and this is what's just keeping the markets on its toes right now.
Yeah, even the S&P down 0.3%, not much, but 1% swings overnight tells the story.
Yeah. All right. Well, we had 3 good trades yesterday, and we're planning to have more trades. And I don't know why I disappeared. I want to be here. I want to be here with you. Let me just. There we go. Okay. Anyhow, so we have a few videos for you that we'll link to in the description here, and also right now click on them. Take a look at these videos, and then have a great and hopefully profitable trading day.
Happy trading, everybody.